Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video for Conan Exiles. Today I'm going to be testing out Dalencia Snowhunter, and obviously this is because she is a one-handed specialist, and we will be testing out 4 swords on her. So of course those 4 swords will be the Predatory Blade, Teal'c's Lament, and the Sword of Crom, of course, Teal'c's Sorrow as well. The idea is she is a one-handed specialist, and we want to find out with which sword she does the most damage. So if you folks enjoy this video, please do not forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content on the channel. Also, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel? Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And of course, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. So, with that out of the way, the whole main purpose for this video is to test out a single-hand or one-handed specialist thrall with both a one-handed weapon and of course a two-handed weapon. For that I have chosen the Predatory Blade. Of course that does not allow for any heavy attacks, so we've also got Teal'c's Lament and of course the Sword of Crom, which is super OP, and Teal'c's Sorrow. So obviously we will be timing all of these fights, so that means a total of 4 fights. Over here we have 2 of the Dalicias. They obviously came with a sword. I've got this thrall over here from a previous video, but whatever. She doesn't have much value as such in regards to this video. So over here we have the two-handed swords, which would be Teal'c's Sorrow and the Sword of Crom. We do have 2 of the Dalicias for a particular reason, and I'll get to that in a bit. Over here, as you can see, we have the Predatory Blade and Teal'c's Lament. So the idea for these 2 thralls are both the exact same thing with the exact same armor. However, once you equip Dalecia with one specific sword type, so say for example a two-handed sword, she will refuse to use the other one, which say for example a one-handed sword. So with that being said and done, we have our very first Dalecia. Over here, she is going to test out the single-handed weapons, the one-handed weapons. So we will start out with the Predatory Blade. I expect this one to do the worst, but I guess the test will show. I kind of have a vague idea of what to expect. Same as before, we're going to spawn in the Demon Bat Boss from the Unnamed City, not to be confused with the Demon Bat Boss from the Tower of Bats. They look the same, but one is stronger than the other. So same as before, with the first attack that has made contact with the bat, I will start the timer and end it with the last killing blow. Obviously it depends how many cuts I'll have to make. Sometimes the AI is a bit derpy, as I found out from all the tests I've done. But basically I'm going to use this exact same Dalencia with the Teal'c's Lament, just to see what the differences is. So the purpose of this video, actually, there are several purposes, to be fairly honest. One is to compare the two-handed sword versus the one-handed sword on the same thrall, being of course Dalencia Snowhunter, and she is meant to be a one-handed specialist. The other purpose of this video is to test the differences between the Predatory Blade and Teal'c's Lament. Oh, I so struggle with that name. Anywho, and to see what difference there is. And then finally, the third purpose of this video is to compare the differences between a two-handed weapon and a one-handed weapon on this particular thrall. So obviously this will give us 4 times, and then based off of those we can kind of estimate which weapons work best on thralls that are specialists in one-handed weapons. Obviously I've chosen Dalencia for this because this is what I started out with in my first tests, so might as well carry on with her. I have done similar things off camera with different thralls, so kind of have an expectation of what's going to happen and which one's going to be the best. I do have a guess on which weapons will be the best, but the purpose of this video is of course to show and back up what I say. So as you can see, we are now on the 2-minute mark, and she still has a lot of HP to take down. Also, please pay attention to the combos that Dalencia does, because it's very important. You see, times will vary for these fights depending on the sort of combos that she does. And one thing that does add significantly to the timer is when she'll do a kick, because she's not using the weapon and therefore doing less damage. Now with this one, I have not seen her perform very many kicks, but I'm expecting to see several kicks. Every time she does that, we can add a second or two. Well, I'd say maybe a second or half a second to the timer, because, of course, instead of using her weapon, she used a kick which does less damage. Okay, so we are getting close to the 3-minute mark here. I think we will go over 3 minutes with this. Also very important, as you noted at the beginning of the video, none of the weapons have any weapon mods on. Obviously the Predatory Blade does not make a difference whatever weapon mod you put on in terms of damage. So because there's no point in putting a mod on the Predatory Blade, I have thought it'd be best not to put any mod on any weapons, and so therefore we're just testing the bare weapons. Alright, Bat Boss is nearly dead. So 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That is the time for the Predatory Blade. So now we're going to swap out the Predatory Blade for the Teal'c's Lament. And so we'll put that there. It's ready to go. Now obviously on paper the differences between Teal'c's Lament and Teal'c's Sorrow isn't all that great. There is a bit more damage on Teal'c's Sorrow and I think a bit more armor penetration. However, because we are testing her against a boss will have a lot of HP. That small difference added over time should significantly make a difference in terms of the time it takes her to kill the boss. Now as you can see, she's refusing to do anything and the Bat Boss is attacking me. We're gonna try and go around and maybe convince her to get hit and maybe see if we can push her into attacking this stupid creature. She's just looking at whatever. She's admiring the view. There we go. She's doing something. There we go. Timer has started as well. So let's see how quickly she does this with the Teal'c's Lament. Alright. Let's see. Alright. She's done a decent damage on the Bat Boss. Okay, so I'm guessing she's going to do this Bat Boss in over 2 minutes. This is, of course, a one-handed weapon. As you can see, for the amount of HP that she has, with all of these weapons, she will fare quite well in that, of course, the amount of HP that she's got is more than enough to single-handedly take out the Bat Boss. I mean, obviously, depending on the weapons that she's using or the weapon that she has equipped at the time of the fight, it may take more or less time, but even so, she's more than able to do that by herself. So she's definitely a good thrall to have with you if you're going to go and farm the bosses in the unnamed city. Obviously the Bat Boss is a bit of a generic boss, which is kind of why I chose her. Chose the Bat Boss actually. So obviously all of the attacks are pretty standard. There's nothing special going on. I could have chosen the undead bosses, but I started out with the Bat Boss, so I'm going to carry on with that throughout the vast majority of the tests, unless people of course ask for something different. Alright, we're gonna, we just exceeded 2 minutes, so let's see how long it takes her to take the Bat Boss down. Now, we do know from previous tests that she can do this Bat Boss in under 1 minute, under 2 minutes with the Sword of Crom. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes her to do it with Teal of Sorrow. But obviously, I don't want to just say it, I want to show it as well. So the next battle will be with the Sword of Crom. She hasn't performed very many kicks with the one-handed weapons from what I've seen. However, she does seem to perform more kicks with the two-handed weapons. So, well, she did it in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Not a bad time, but we know she can do better with at least one of the two-handed weapons. So I'll go and put her back and get out the second Dalencia. There we go. Now she has the Sword of Crom. I did attempt to start the fight before, but she just did not do anything. And then as I killed the Bat Boss with the admin commands, she then started whacking at him. So let's give this another go. Hopefully it works fine. Obviously, this is all to do with the dodgy and derpy AI of the NPCs and the Thralls, specifically the Thralls, as this is what this video is focused around. So we'll summon in the Bat Boss. Okay, let's see if she does anything. Oh, she's decided to just look at him as he's beating me. Oh, there we go. Something's happening. Come on. There we go. So that was the first strike. Obviously, no audio for it for some odd reason. This is to be expected from this game. That does happen quite often, as annoying as it is. But we did see the attack, so I started the timer. Now, I'm guessing she's going to do it somewhere around in 1 minute and 35 seconds, something like that. That seems to be an average time for her with the Sword of Crom. So let's see what time it takes her to do this. I'm going to also be looking at the kicks. She's done a kick right there. So every time she does a kick, that adds to the timer because obviously, well, because I mentioned it before, didn't I? So there's another kick right there. So she's definitely doing a great job, or far better job at least, than she did with the one-handed weapons. Obviously this weapon is ridiculously powerful. It is also a very rare drop, do bear that in mind, and it does drop from the skeleton bosses in the unnamed city. She has almost killed this guy. There we go, 1 minute and 30 seconds for the Sword of Crom. So as you can see, there is a significant difference between the Sword of Crom, which is a two-handed weapon, and Teal's Lament, which is a one-handed weapon. Massive, massive difference. However, the test is not finished yet. We're going to test her out with Teal's Sorrow. So now let's see what difference there is between Teal's Sorrow and Teal's Lament. So as this test goes on, according to the devs, because she is a one-handed specialist, she should perform better with the one-handed sword. I know what the truth is, and I know which one to expect to perform better. By how much, that remains to be seen, and I think a lot of people will be surprised of the results. Now, I haven't tested this one before, but to me, it always felt like she did better with two-handed weapons. There's one kick right there, then a pause. So as you will see, she performs a lot of kicks with the two-handed weapons, and even so, she still does far better with the two-handed weapons than with the one-handed weapons. There's another kick right there. And as you can see already, she has done a great deal of damage to this particular boss. There's another kick. And she seems to be doing far better with the two-handed weapon already than she has done with the one-handed weapon. There's another kick right there. So we've got, 5, 6 kicks already in this particular fight. I think she's performed the most kicks in this fight, at least from what I've seen. She does do those kicks quite often, but even so, she seems to be doing a better time than with the one-handed weapons. Okay, we're nearly there. Whoa, do we get another kick? Oh, there's another kick right there. So 2 minutes and 9 seconds. That's how long it took her with Teal of Sorrow compared to both of the one-handed weapons. None of them had mods on them, so obviously this was just the basic weapon damage. As you can see, or as you saw in this video, and I'm going to say the times, with the Predatory Blade, she did the boss in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. With Teal's Lament, she did it in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So she roughly shaved off a minute, or let's average it out to about a minute in between the two of them. With the Sword of Crom, she did the boss in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And with Teal's Sorrow, she did the boss in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. So as you can see, she performs far better with a two-handed weapon than with a one-handed weapon. Obviously, this was just one thrall, and from previous tests of thralls that were meant to be one-handed specialists, they've always seemed to perform far better with the two-handed weapons. So that is just to point that out. Yes, in theory there may be a one-handed specialist, but they still seem to perform better with the two-handed weapons. Probably not as good as the two-handed specialist, but still they perform far better. That is what I wanted to show in this video. I hope that you guys have enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. If you have, please do not forget to support me and the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content. And why not check out some of my other videos and tutorials here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video's description, as well as in a pinned comment for myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.